Hey, good morning, Steve. My name is Alnur Ibrahim. I'm from SalonTouch. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. So before I start off this presentation, kind of want to get a feel for your business. If you can give me a 2-minute highlight for what you guys do so I can focus and tailor my presentation and my demo to suit your business.
Sure. We currently own 2 small boutiques, and we've decided to expand that into the tanning area, as well as next year we're going to be opening up 2 to 3 more salons. So we're looking for a new software solution that will take care of not only the front end of our service, our boutique, and the tanning beds, but also be able to handle our employees and credit card processing. And primarily we would like to be able to work on one software solution that will then go out to all of our locations, so we don't have to get the software on each location and try to build up each location with all the services and packages that we offer. We'd like something that would be, I don't know how you term it in your phrases. I think it's global, instead of an individual local salon.
Understand. Okay, so I understand what business your guys are, and so I'll focus my presentation on your business and give you some highlights of. But let me tell you a couple of things about SalonTouch first. Now, it's a company that's been in business for a very, very long time. Had its roots in the tanning business and expanded to the spa, massaging services, and spa type services. And today we're doing extremely well with both types of customers. We have both local salon-based services and global services where multiple salons can come together. We share global services, global prices. We would share, employees would be able to go to each one of the salons and work there, and they're clocked in, and the time cards are all valid at all the different salons, and so forth and so forth. We store the data centrally in our locations. From a key features perspective, we have the appointment book, which basically is your route, where that's what you'll be playing with all day long, because that's where the clients' appointments are, and clients are your basic food. Then we have staff resources, managing staff, their time cards, their tasks, daily tasks. Then we have inventory tracking of different products, where we would have cost-based inventories, FIFO, LIFO type inventory systems. And we have a very enhanced security where we can create different profiles of security to suit your different levels of employees. So for example, a receptionist in your salon might not need access to daily sales activities reports or other business type reports, whereas the owner would need access to a lot of things. A stylist might not need access to massage rooms, or other things, whereas somebody else would. So we can kind of set up different types of security profiles and allow employees to do this or not do that. And of course, we have a very easy to use point of sale systems, which I will show you. One of the good things about SalonTouch is that, as you start enrolling more clients and putting in their cell phone numbers and emails, at some point in time, you'll be in a position to create really excellent digital marketing campaign using text messages or email marketing messages. And we partner with some of the world-class names in the United States to do that. Our solutions today work for hair salons, massage salons, spa salons, nail salons, full-service salons. We have an integrated credit card processing system, and we are working towards expanding more providers into our systems. And the key thing for you is really support. We have 5 days support, Monday to Friday, and weekend support for emergencies. We have a 24/7 online support, which would help you to answer any questions that you might have. For example, if you need to create a new service on the weekend and you've forgotten how to do that, you could go to the online support and it would tell you step by step how you would do that. Like I said, we have an online support here. We have multiple videos that we have done on how to do things, introduction to different aspects, and we continue to build this vast repository that we have. We have excellent how to get started documentation and things like that we will share with you as we go along. And that helps you a lot all the time. Of course, don't forget, we're here Monday to Friday to help you out. really setting up the software and getting it going is a one-time event. It basically involves creating providers or employees, designating them as different providers. So a provider is somebody who provides particular service, so masseuse, esthetician. And we classify them in different ways because they do perform different functions. They have different pricing groups. We create provider groups where we can generally group different levels of stylists, the experienced ones who charge a little bit more, the beginners who may charge a little bit less, and it helps you to keep track and provide service to the customer easily. And then, of course, we create resources that would be required for the services, any rooms, any chairs, any shampoos, for example, or creams, anything like that. And all this is taken care of so that when you perform this service, it automatically notifies you that a certain resource is required, and so you know how to get it, and you can inventory that resource. And then we create services in itself, like nail service, masseuse service, with the proper pricing, start dates, end dates, and we add the service to the appointment book, and I'll show you how all that works. And sure, so without wasting time, let's go and see what the software looks like. This is our beginning screen. Everything is very, very simply laid out on the top. If you want reports, or if you want to go to the employee section, or to the register section, or client section, the appointment book, which is, like I said, your bread and butter. Right here, as you can see, we have a number of service providers here who provide different types of services. So all these people you see here with pictures here are people who work in the salons, and they provide different services. We can code them by color, so we know, for example, the green people do a certain type of services. The people with the yellow tag here, they would perform certain services. So it's easy to and customizable, right?
Okay, so I have a question. So
go ahead.
This is the appointment. This is what my employee will see.
This is what your employees will see. The most important thing, in my opinion, Steve, is for your employees is they'll be working here, taking customer appointments, and they'll be on this page here, on the register, selling services. Okay. So, for example, we would go to the register here. Let's say pull up a client, one of the clients. Say Ellen Tiffany, and we would now be able to see. So your employees in general will be moving about here, checking in customers, going back to the register and selling them. Everything that's set up is all behind the scenes. It's a one-time setup that we would help you to set it up. But that's what your customers would see. And I'll go through, show you how a transaction is done and how an appointment is set up and things like that. Let's jump into appointments. Let's say a customer walks in, right? And says, I want to can I have an appointment for 4 o'clock today? All you do is go to this, if that employee is talking to Dennis Borg, I would just go here, pull up the client's name. Let's say the client's name is starting with D. I would go and pull up David Clarkson. He wants an appointment with David at 4 o'clock. I would then choose what services the guy wants to do. Let's say he's in here for a massage service for 30 minutes, right? I could put in a memo, things like excellent customer, or if this is for my notice when I check the customer in, or when for the appointment, or if somebody else checks them in, and I would say okay, and voila, he's there. Let's say at 4 o'clock, Davidson comes in. What I would see typically right here, all those people who are imminently arriving. So I would get a very good idea of those people who are going to be coming in, so I can get my salon ready for them.
So is this all locations or just one location?
This is just for the local locations right now, right? But there are ways to do that. So for example, I would go in and see who's checked into this location, right? From an appointment perspective, you really want the localized person. There's no point in seeing, for the employee to see who's that doesn't make sense because they're not going to be servicing them. So let's say this guy walks in and I can check him in. I just click on it and I have a number of things I can do. I can look at his profile. I can see that when was the last time he was in our salon, what are the dollar amounts, what services he has. I can check him in today, and you see the green circle here that's already checked in. If necessary, I can take him to the register, and of course he had booked for the massage service, so it's already there in the register. So now I can go ahead and ring him up. Let's assume this is good. I would then go ahead and tender him, and let's say he's paying me cash or Visa or MasterCard, Amex or whatever, or if he's even paying by gift card or a gift item or a coupon, right? It doesn't matter.
So you can set up
absolutely
gift cards.
Absolutely, I'll show you that how to do that. Let's say he's paying cash. I would go tender him just as usual, $35, and I would say okay. Gives me an option to print a receipt or not to print receipt or email a receipt. Let's say in this case, I don't want to do anything. Basically, I'm done. I can now go and take care of David and give him the massage. There are a number of things I can do with the appointment calendars. Once, let's say a customer here booked an appointment and then calls, let's say Karen here calls and says, you know what, I can't make it. I need to cancel my appointment, right? I'm sorry. So I can go ahead and just cancel her appointment, and nope, she's gone, right? Or let's say if I have an option here to move the appointment to another day. If somebody says, let me move the appointment, I then have an option to move the appointment to another day. Okay, so there are a number of things that you can do, and that's what your employees will be seeing for most of the time, right? Like I said, they would be flipping between the register here, selling clients stuff, or taking care of customers. Very, very, very simple. Now let's see, how do we go around setting services? Remember, I said there's 4 or 5 very simple, straightforward steps, really. Setting a service is very, very simple. Everything starts with the setup button on the top, and I won't go into the details, but I'll give you an idea of how easy it is to set up. I would click on the provider services. These are the services that I've set up, right? Let's say I go to the color highlights. If I was setting up a new service, I would put in the name of the service I want, the subcategory, highlights, blue highlights, whatever. I would add the taxes that were applicable to the service as per the county or the state laws, right? And then I would put in the pricing for the services. And remember, we talked about different pricing for different levels of providers. For example, in my case here, level 2 stylists charge $100. But level 1 stylists who are more experienced with their services, they charge $120. And that's the beauty of creating provider groups, where I can now very, very easily categorize and group my different providers into different categories, okay? I would put the price here, the start date of the service, or the end date if I so needed to do. For example, if I'm doing a promo that's only for the month of December, I would put in a start date and I would put in an end date for this service. Let's say the start date was 05/04 and I would put in 06/04. After 06/04, this service will not be sellable. It won't even show up in the register, so nobody can sell this service. So those are ways to do promotional items like that. There are other things that you can do which are all optional here. For example, if you want to give employees discount for the services that you do, let's say an employee wants to buy some lotion, you could specify the employees can get $1 discount, or you can specify they get a discount in percentage, 10% of the selling price. You can specify that for this service, clients can get 10% off, for example, or you can just leave it blank. You can also create what we call membership. Membership is a loyalty retaining service. It feels good when you tell a customer you can become a member and then you'll get 20% off. Then you can define for each service and each product whether it warrants a discount or not. If it does, I would click on here and say, okay, when a customer buys this service, give him the membership discount. And I would set up the membership discount somewhere else, 10%, 15%. So I can define per product, per service, whether this service will get a membership discount or not. So for example, low margin product and low margin service, probably I wouldn't give discounts, but for high margin products and services, I would give the customer a discount. Again, you can set up for employees commission structures that would be recorded. And the beauty of this is everything that you record here, then it's very easy for you to go at the end of the day or end of the week to look at the reports. So from a reporting perspective, I can go and look at the daily activities, right? I can look at the daily totals. I can look at employees, for example, what their commissions are. I can edit those commissions if I so choose to do so. I can look at sales numbers. I can look at employee averages. So it gives me an idea of how my business is performing. And there are multiple number of things that you can do. Many customers use a few of these. You may, it depends on how you run your business. You may want to do a few or more, but the options are there. We can look at inventory type reports. What are our product counts, the product prices, service lists that we have. We can look at client demographics. So for example, if I wanted to do an email marketing campaign for Mother's Day, I could go and do demographics where, for example, I would go in and say, give me the list of all the females between 20 and 50 years old, and there would be female, they would be married because they're Mother's Day, right? And I could specify a zip code if I wanted to. I could narrow the demographics down. I could narrow it down by birthday months if I so choose to. And then I could generate a report based on that. That would give me the name of the person, the email address, and I use that as a distribution list for my email marketing campaigns. Very, very easy. Mother's Day campaigns, Father's Day campaign, back to school, and a lot of other things people use for. Okay, I can just generate, a general client list. I can say all the clients who visited me or who haven't visited me in the last 3 months. Then I could send them an email and say, hey, missed you. Here's a coupon for $10. And this is how, you do digital marketing campaigns. So there are all these options that you can do. And we will, of course, train you and work with you to show you that stuff. Back to the screen. Any questions so far?
Yeah, this is all in reference to a customer walking in the door. Something my clients are very interested in is online booking. Is it capable?
Absolutely. We have an online booking. We have two things that can be done online. One is the online booking that you would do your clients. So, for example, most of the customers put a URL link or a button on their website that says make an appointment. When you do that, we provide you with a website, your customizable website. So this logo and this picture, we can customize it to suit your company's name. And then, of course, once your customer goes to the website, they have a username and a password that you give them. Once that is done, they log in from home and they look at this page and they say, okay, let me make an appointment. So they can either view their existing appointments. So let's see, I had created a couple of appointments and one is already passed. So I had an appointment with Stephanie Neimer today at 3 p.m. And you can see this is my appointment. I can cancel it if I wanted to, and it would reflect into the salon, right? But let's say I wanted to make another appointment. So I would go to make a new appointment, and it's very easy. I have a choice of making an appointment by the type of service or by the service provider, say a person that I know who does my service as well. So let's say in this case, I say, let me do an appointment by service provider, and I want an appointment with Shannon Williams because I know Shannon does a good job for me, and I would like to schedule with Shannon all the services that Shannon performs, right? If Shannon was not performing any of the services, it would not show up here. But Shannon is a multitasker, so I want to do a natural press with Shannon, and I want to do it for the Monday, the 14th of November, approximately around, 1 p.m. And it would give me all the options that Shannon is open to. It would check with the database and Shannon's schedule, right? And then I can say, well, I want 30 sounds good. I'm going to select it. So, okay, sounds good. I'm going to confirm it. And it would then show up immediately into the appointment book in the salon.
So,
right?
So I'm in the salon. If they're
absolutely, it'll show up right there. Absolutely. So this is how you do appointment booking, right? We also will provide you with another website specifically for your employees where they can log in from home and see what appointments they have for the day or for the next week, so that they can schedule, because some of the providers, they multitask between your salon and their contractors. So they work in one salon, they provide service at other salon. So it's good for them to know and schedule their own time. So we will provide this too. And we will also provide a mobile application where your clients can book an appointment using their iPhones or Android phones. So those three types are basically part and parcel of the service. So we can do that. Again, any questions so far?
I think something else that I've been hearing my clients talk about is scheduling like monthly memberships or monthly services that are automatically like renewable. Like, does your point of sale handle things like that?
Yeah. For example, let's say a couple of things it does. Let's say I'm looking at this appointment here. I can schedule, for example, a standing appointment. Let's say David says I want to come in, every week or something. I can create a standing appointment every 7 days for the next year, right? So now when I do that, David will be booked for the next every day at the same time for the next week or so, right? That's one thing. So I can do that. The second thing I can do, as I mentioned before, is that I can create this concept of membership. Basically, I can tell a customer, look, we're going to give you a special membership, and we'll show you how to set it up. And by doing that, every time you buy a service or a product, you will get 10% off, 12% off, or 15% off, whatever the number you decide to do. So every time that customer comes in and you go to the register to sell him any product, a window will pop up telling you that this customer is going to get 10% off this service that you're selling him because this is membership. And that's how you do that. And you can define, like I mentioned before, what services and what products qualify for the membership or not. So it's basically you're in control once you set up. The other thing I forgot to mention, which I think is important, that apart from, we've talked about services so far, but remember, a lot of your business is selling products. Products would include cleaning products, facial products, lotions, shampoos, and all those kind of stuff, right? Creams, different types of creams. So, for example, these are the types of cream. Setting it up is very easy. You just put in the name of the product you want to sell. Again, the price, start dates, whether these products are discountable or not, commissions if an employee sells a product, do they get commission? You can define what percentage or a dollar amount, and we can show you how to do that. And the other thing you can do is, and I forgot to mention, is called product combos. And it's not set up, but we can show you how to set up. So, for example, buy one, get one at half price. Buy one, get one free. Buy this service and get this lotion free, right? So you kind of combine those specials and you can set it up. So when you ring that service up, automatically two items will show up. One is the service you're selling. The other is the free item or the half price item. And regularly, if you sell that item, it will be a normal price. But when it's mixed as a combo, it will be discounted automatically. You don't have to worry about it, or your employees don't have to worry about it once you set up. So that's a good thing about, you can do buy one, get one free. By the way, you can have, it's not even buy one, get one free. You can do buy one, get two free, get 5 free. It depends on how many services and products you want to combine together as one packet and sell it. So it's very easy to set up. We have all these options to do that, and we'll show you how to do that at the right time. Really, it's kind of simple. I just clicked on it right here, and I can pick a service and I can pick a product to combo. I say, okay, these products and combos, they go together, and the special price for these brushes is $0 for this type, right? I can say the special price for this service is $0 or whatever. I can really decide how I want to sell this thing. But so the options are there for you so far. What else am I forgetting? Basically, like I mentioned, from your employees perfecting and day-to-day workings, this is a very easy to use screen. I click on it, I get options. I don't have to go anywhere. I can cancel appointments. I can check customers in. I can create standing appointments. I can do multiple bookings. I can send reminders. I can take them to the register and things like that, right?
How about scheduling of my employees?
Yes. Yes. We can do that very easily. So there's a time card that the employees use. I can, for example, I can look a couple of things. One, I can look at an employee and I can say, okay, what is the employee's schedule for today, for this week? Okay, by employees. So I can see that this guy, Dennis, has an appointment on Friday, right? And I can go back and forth. These buttons take me tomorrow. I haven't set up anything. and this would take me next month, for example. All right, so I can kind of see as an owner how the employees and what appointments they have from that perspective. I can also do something here where the employees can basically clock in and clock out, right? Once they come in, they clock out, put in their times, and it's recorded, and that's how they get paid. So these are, this needs a little bit of setting up, but it's pretty straightforward for employees, really. It's automatically recorded. So there are options like that. I can set up as the owner. I can look at the employees list. I can give them different security levels. I can put a picture that you saw on the appointment calendar, right? I can have, like I said, I can give them different security profiles here. And the different profiles just mean things that they can do or can't do, more or less stuff, right? I can assign passwords for the employees, and so that when they come in, they log in, so it's recorded in the system that, this such and such a person logged in, and such a person performed this type of activities.
And that's something that's important to me as far as, I understand there's a lot of setup to this, but what kind of security or control do I have over the employee?
Couple of things here. One is that I can trace basically all the activities that an employee that's logged in can do, right? I can look at all the employees and see who did all these functions, like deleted clients, added new clients, changed time cards, or did overrides on something that was not supposed to be, for example. Or I can narrow it down by a particular employee, so I can pick up something, and look at their activity screens and see, what kind of things they did during the day, right? So there are things that I can do. So that's one thing. I can, during the setup time, I can assign different security profiles to the employee. So I can create different profiles. The owner profile, of course, is 100% would be able to do everything. Every time you see a red mark, it means that I can do the function that's here on the left side. An associate might have less access than an owner, so while they can perform all these functions here, they can't perform these functions like looking at employee list or adding new employees, which, you don't want an employee to add new employees, right? A stylist might have very little access, just basic to run register, book an appointment, and things like that. So you can decide, we can work with you to define, what all, things that you can do for your employees or not do. Make sense? And the list is exhaustive, so it's something that you would build over a period of time.
Okay, well, you mentioned something, like I said in the beginning, I own several salons, and do I have to be in the store to work on this information? I mean, for this salon, or can I? No. I do a lot of work from home.
Yeah, no problem. You see, when we set you up, the salons would be able to see this, right? And what we would be able to do is to give you also a remote login. So you would basically from home log in, and you would be able to see the appointments. You would be able to see exactly what they're doing. It's not a problem at all. You would be able to create new services. Let's say on the weekend, you dream of some exotic service that you want. You can create the service on the weekend. You can say that, hey, this service only to be sold in store number 1, not for all stores. Or this service, it will be seen in all stores and it can be sold in all stores. Those are global services versus local services, right? So we can do all kinds of fancy stuff like that. And as an owner, we will give you access from home. You'll be able to see from home. The good thing about it is that you can see a lot of reports, right? Things like daily activities up to the time. Let's say if I do a daily activity to show me everything up to today, right now, I could do day of the month, past day of the month sales activities. I could look at daily totals, for example, and I can go back and forth in time, right? I can go back, 2 months ago, and 2 months ago on a Monday, what were my daily totals, right? I can do that. I can look at packages used. I can look at the coupons, if you have coupons, the coupons that were redeemed. So all these things I can do sitting right in my house right? And I can print them, and I can export them and store them in an Excel spreadsheet. So there are all these options. I can look at local reports, or I can look at global reports. So global reports would, let's say if I have 4 salons, it would give me report for Salon 1, report for Salon 2, report for Salon 3, and Salon 4. Okay. Whereas local would give me just the one that I'm logged into. So there are all kinds of possibilities depending on how much you want to be involved in.
Okay, so when I create a package or a service that I offer, each different salon can use that service?
Absolutely.
So I don't have to recreate it?
Nope, no, not at all. For example, if I wanted to create, let's say I'm logged into my salon number 1 on Manchester Avenue. I could create a local service that would be applicable only for Manchester Avenue salon. No, none of my other salons can see it. However, I can go here and create a global service. I have 2 global services, right? So these 2 global services can be seen in all my salons and can be sold in all my salons. They have the same pricing, right? I can go ahead and add a new global service if I wanted to do so, right from my house. And once I'm done and I save it, it would immediately be available and seen in all the 4 salons. So when they go to the register to sell, let me just cancel out of here a little bit here. So when they go to the register to sell, that service would immediately be available and ready to be sold under the provider services section.
Okay.
Okay, so bang, very, very simple and very easy. So like I said, your employees would basically be shifting between this screen, which is the point of sale, selling stuff, and going to the appointments where they're checking in clients. Back to this screen, back to the appointment. Very simple. All the rest of the stuff we talked about is you and the owner is behind the scenes to set it up. And we'll train you, we'll work with you. So it's not a problem. Any questions so far?
No, I think
Make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Right. And of course, I forgot to mention the backups are done automatically. They're stored in our secured servers. So if, let's say, if your computer dies, we can recreate it within, half an hour or so, the whole thing again. You're back to your client list, your services. You don't lose anything. Everything is in real time. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I think you've.
All right. Yeah. So just to reiterate, really, very simple to create services. We have support, documentation, videos, and we continue to build this vast repository for our customers, so it's easy for them. Doing marketing, support, solutions for different types of salons, appointment booking, online bookings, and things like that. We've been in business for a long time, and we generally know this business quite well. And we are in the middle of also developing new products for the future with different interfaces and things like that should be rolling out pretty soon. All right?
Okay, sounds great.
All right, thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, just give me a call.
Great. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.